What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video we're here with the predictions for UFC Fight Night Hermansson versus Pyfer. It's a decent card all round, some good fights on the main card, some interesting prospects on the prelims, and we're going to go through the entire card, starting with the first prelim, ending with the main event, and I'll give my prediction and breakdown for every single fight on the card. Let's get started with the prelims. Let's be giving quick picks for all of these fights because there ain't a lot to go into, and I don't know half of them because I can't be fucked watching tape on Contender Series because I have better things to do with my life. But we're going to get started. Aori Tralang versus Daniel Marcos. I'm picking Daniel Marcos. I think he's just the cleaner striker. He's got some pop in his shots. He mixes up the combos pretty well. He went tit for tat with Davey Grant, who's actually really underrated, and I don't think Aori Tralang's that good. He got chinned in like a minute by Ayman Zahabi, so I'm picking Marcos by TKO in round 2. Next fight, Fernie Garcia versus Haider Emil. I don't know much about Haider Emil, but I know that he's fighting Fernie Garcia, so I'm going to pick Haider Emil because Fernie Garcia is terrible. But he also is tough, so I'll give him credit. He doesn't get KO'd, and so I'm going to pick Haider Emil to win a decision. We also have Bogdan Guskov versus Zach Pauga. This is actually a pretty close fight in my opinion. I'm hearing a lot of people picking Zach Pauga, but I vowed to never pick former NFL players again because I picked Braxton Smith against Parker Porter and he lost. So yeah, I'm just going to pick Bogdan Guskov. I'm going to pick the Anthony Smith lookalike without tattoos and the PTSD of his family being attacked. So I'm taking Guskov to get it done by round 1 KO. Even if he's shit, I feel like he can just swing a bunch of punches and just catch Pauga on the chin. He literally got KO'd by Muhammad Usman. Like, Muhammad Usman drowned his kid for a tax write-off. So you're getting KO'd by that, Donnie. This is not a good look for you. We also have Petrosyan versus Jordan Wright. No, not Jordan Wright. Devin Clark is his name. Yeah, this just tells you I know fuck all about this card. I'm picking Devin Clark to win a decision. He does not finish anyone in the UFC, so I think he's just going to use his athleticism and be bigger. And then Petrosyan, he beat Khalil Rountree, but apart from that, he beat the statue William Knight and he's done not a whole lot else. But yeah, what else do we have? Picking Luma Lookboom to win a decision against Bruna Brazil. She's actually pretty alright. I watched her in Perth live when I went to UFC 284 when she beat Elise Reed, I'm pretty sure. I don't think she's going to finish Bruna Brazil, but I reckon she gets it done. She's got good Muay Thai, good striking, so she'll outpoint her. I'm picking, what's his name? What the fuck is this guy's name? Boki Aoki or some shit, the black guy. I'm picking the black guy in the bottom middle, if you guys don't know who he is. Yeah, I'm picking him by TKO. Fuck knows. Kawumba, he's fighting some guy on short notice. So yeah, I'm just going to pick the black guy who's at a training camp. That's my breakdown for this fight. I'm picking Brychek or whatever against Petrosyan. They're fighting on the main card for some reason, but I'm not putting this in the important fights later on because, let's be honest, no one cares. But yeah, he KOs a bunch of guys on Contender Series, so I'll pick him to do the same thing here. So Ihor Petrosyan is terrible. He was looking good against Bellato, but Bellato was standing fucking as stiff as a board. He was as stiff as a board, I'd snap you in half. Petrosyan was lighting him up, and then he kind of just gassed out and then got finished. But what else do we have here? Jeremiah Wells, I'm picking him to beat Max Griffin. Not overly confident in that one at all, because Jeremiah Wells is not good, really, but he's strong and he's athletic, so I'm going to pick him to muscle Max Griffin around and just take him down and hold him there like he did to Semmelsberger. And what's the last fight? Carlos Prates against Trevin Giles. I'm taking Prates as well to win by round 1 KO. I, again, watched none of his fights, but I've watched Giles get chinned and submitted in a minute. So I'm just going to think Prates is probably better than him and pick him to win by round 1 KO. But we move on to the important fights that I actually know things about. You guys might call me a casual. I call myself an intellectual because I just don't need to research prelim fighters that are coming off one win on the Contender Series. I've just got better things to do with my life. But Armen Petrosyan versus Rodolfo Vieira. Picking Armen Petrosyan by decision. Look, this fight is very likely to be shit, but I'm just including it because I wanted to at least put a few fights like that I actually went into a bit of detail. I've watched Petrosyan fight, I've watched Vieira fight. Vieira, he might have some really good grappling, ADCC grappling and all that shit, but we've learnt time and time again, and I've learnt not to trust guys that pretty much only have a jiu-jitsu base and they have no striking and their wrestling is pretty fucking average. Like, I know Fluffy Hernandez is a great fighter, but like, if you're a fucking world-class jiu-jitsu guy, you just shouldn't be getting subbed, and that's just what I learned. Like, I know, obviously there's differences, but like, if you're getting subbed, it should be like, by another world-class grappler. Like, Fluffy Hernandez is good, but he's like Colby Covington on crack. So I'm just gonna not back his grappling, which just hasn't gotten it done over many high-level opposition. He got a bunch of takedowns stuffed against Chris Curtis, and Chris Curtis is not that good as well. So yeah, I'm picking Petrosyan to win, outpoint him on the feet. He doesn't have that much power, so I don't think he gets a finish, but I reckon it'll go long and probably be a very forgettable fight. That's my prediction for this matchup. Petrosyan by decision. The next fight, though, is Michael Johnson versus Darius Flowers. I consider this the crackhead versus his dealer. Michael Johnson is looking like he just got sold fentanyl in a laneway, and Darius Flowers is the thug that sold it to him. You know, I'm continuing on with my trend from my last video. No holes barred, just pure racism and stereotypes over here. Nothing but that, because that's just what you need on an MMA channel, and I'm here to deliver. But onto the actual fight breakdown. Johnson's actually like not a bad fighter. I know that sounds weird to say because look at his record. He's 21-19. Like, man is fucking more inconsistent than I can't even think of a joke. He's just extremely inconsistent. But I'm picking him to win just because Darius Flowers is kind of shit at fighting. He's just not very good. That's just my personal opinion. He lost to Jake Matthews, kind of just got bullied, kind of quit as well. Like, he was clearly looking for a way out. Kept getting teeped in the body, trying to fake nut shots. Kept, like, popping his mouth guard out to try and, like, get time or get, like, a pause in the action. And then he just got kind of turned over and just subbed immediately and tapped to a jaw choke. So I know Jake Matthews has good grappling, but you just shouldn't be getting completely schooled by Jake Matthews if you're going to have any future in the sport. And I know that Michael Johnson is not exactly the benchmark for, like, people that have a future or not in the sport. But yeah, I'm picking him to win. He lost his last fight. That means in my books, if you look at the Michael Johnson record book, he's due for a W here because man will get slept by like Chase Hooper and then like KO Islam Makhachev in his next fight. So I reckon we're on for the Michael Johnson title run at this point. He's lost a lot of his last fights, but again, a lot of them are to good opponents. In my opinion, he beat Jamie Mullarkey. He was robbed. I know that's not that impressive, but like, let's not forget this man. He beat a whole lot of good guys. Like, bro's beat Poirier, Ferguson. So maybe we get old MJ back for a minute, and then he just tunes up Darius Flowers, and we're gonna have a good time watching it. But we move on to the next fight. Brad Tavares versus Gregory Rodrigues. We've got Violent Obama versus what's his name? Tavares, the Bruno Silva victim. So my breakdown for this fight is that Tavares just looks kind of shit recently, in my personal opinion. I think Gregory Rodrigues is like, he's very inconsistent and he gets chinned quite a bit, but I'm not predicting Tavares to chin him just because Brad Tavares probably, like, he looks like a guy who has like major KO power, but this man could not finish Chris Weidman on literally no legs. Like, he had a literal cripple in front of him. Like, he had a disabled child. Like, you kick the kid out of his wheelchair and make him walk, or like he's crawling. Like, that was what Chris Weidman was, and Tavares couldn't finish him. So it's really easy to tune someone up, but I'm not going to take anything away from the performance if you don't get a finish. Like, you can tune someone up if they have no legs. Like, I do it to disabled people regularly. I'm elite. But I'm picking Robocop to win. He's got a strength advantage in my eyes. Tavares has pretty good takedown defense, but I reckon Robocop might muscle him down at some point. But ultimately, Tavares, everyone thinks he's got like an elite granite rock solid chin, and in the Duplessis fight he did. Like, he looked like he just could not get finished at all. Only guy apart from Strickland to take Duplessis to a decision in the UFC. But Robocop's got major power, and Tavares got recently KO'd by Bruno Silva. I know it was a little bit of an early stoppage, but I still do believe that Robocop's going to get it done. I just got a feeling he's going to chin him, catch him with a big shot, put him away. So, my fellow Americans, I'm picking Gregory Rodrigues to win by a round 1 knockout. That's Obama's prediction on the fight. He's picking himself to win. But we move on to the co-main event. Dan Ige, the mid-man himself, versus Andre Touchy Kids Fili. I'm not sure what I'm doing with this prediction video anymore. It's kind of gone to shit, but who cares? That's what we're here for. We're here for a good time, not a long time. Because I'm probably not going to be on YouTube for a long time the way I'm going. But regardless, I'm picking Dan Ige to win by knockout or TKO in the second round, I think. Yeah, I'll go with the second round. You know, my detailed breakdown on this fight is Dan Ige beats literally everyone who's not ranked that he fights. Like, he loses to wrestlers. He only really loses to wrestlers. He doesn't get finished. I don't see Fili finishing him at all. And I just don't see Fili outpointing him. Like, Ige doesn't usually get outpointed on the feet. He usually gets, like, he usually ends up in trouble when people mix in the takedowns. Like, Bryce Mitchell and Evloev are notable examples, guys that just took him down. He lost to, Zombie, I'm pretty sure. He lost to Emmett, but in my opinion, he won that fight. And, I still think he could be a top 10 guy with the right matchup. It's just, there's a few too many grapplers at featherweight. But Andre Fili, man, he's coming in on short notice for Lerone Murphy. That was actually a 50-50 fight with Murphy and Ige. I was considering picking Ige as an underdog, but I forget what the odds were. So, that was an intriguing fight, but I just don't give Fili that much of a chance. He knocked out his last opponent, but Dan Ige does not get KO'd. He fought Josh Emmett, and he didn't get chin. So I'm pretty sure he's Hawaiian. He's got the Hawaiian chin. He's got the Islander chin. And I reckon it holds up here. And, Fili gets cracked a little bit. He gets touched up, as his nickname suggests. But, yeah, I think Dan Ige is just going to land the combos, put together some punches. He's due for a knockout, man. He got a knockout over Damon Jackson in January last year. I reckon he's going to do a similar thing here and just put him away. He's still got the power in his hands, so I reckon he's going to get a knockout and he's going to walk away with 50k. That's my prediction for the fight, but we move on to the main event. Joe the Salty Man Pyfer versus Jack No Danger Hermansson. This man basically presents no danger, and that's crazy to say about a top 10 fighter in an upper weight class. This man just cannot KO you to save his life. He will not hurt you in a fight. You will not be rocked by Jack Hermansson if you fight him. Look, you may be in trouble if he starts going to the ground, You might start snapping limbs, as Dan Hardy would say, but I don't think he's going to be able to do anything physically to Joe Pyfer. Joe Pyfer's ginger. He's going to pick you up and slam you. He bullied Deji in his last fight. Deji Abdul Razak Al Hassan. I'm pretty sure that's Deji. You can't convince me that's not Deji. But regardless, that guy was 5'10" or something, real compact, big jacked middleweight. And he just picked him up and slammed him. The takedowns and the strength on display in that fight were fucking crazy to watch. He was really slamming him down, got the sub in I think it was the second round. His striking looks a little bit green in terms of the technique. He doesn't look super seasoned, but I don't think it really matters. If you got, Ngannou power, as he will tell you, and if you don't believe him, then you're a nerd, because, he's just like that. But Joe Pyfer, I reckon he's kind of just going to walk through Hermansson. Hermansson's going to be kind of doing his little herky-jerky movements, doing his little snappy jabs, his little weird stuff. But you just can't, outpoint a guy like Joe Pyfer, I feel like. You got to, because he's a real angry man, He's not happy with life, clearly, because he's fucking pissed off every time you hear him speak. But, you just can't bully a guy like that around. You can't, just frustrate him at range. He's just going to walk forwards, and you either got to, catch him with a big shot, which I don't think he's going to get KO'd by Jack Hermansson of all people, or you got to maybe, we haven't really seen people offensively grapple against him, but I doubt it goes well for him just from the strength that he's shown. So I think he's just going to walk through Hermansson's shots, not show him any respect, and put him away inside 2 rounds. I'm going round 1. Bold call, round 1 KO. I know Hermansson doesn't get, KO'd a whole lot. Cannonier finished Hermansson, but I think he got dropped by Vettori, if I'm not mistaken. Strickland's not a guy that really puts people away. He beat Hermansson pretty soundly. He was tuning up to Lidzi on the feet, and then he got subbed, TKO'd. He got, wrapped up on the ground. Who else did he fight before that? He's beat a couple guys. He was tuning up Chris Curtis, but welcome to the club. If you know how to throw a jab and you have a 2-inch reach advantage, you can keep Chris Curtis at range and just piss him off. So I'm picking Pyfer to just bully Hermansson. Either pick him up and slam him down. I doubt he subs him, maybe get a TKO on the ground, or just flatlines him. Not flatlines him, but puts him away on the feet. That's what I'm going to go with. Joe Pyfer, the salty man, by round 1 knockout, and he's going to get on the mic and he's going to call a bunch of people nerds and say that they doubted him, even though literally everyone's picking him in this fight. But that's just the Joe Pyfer attitude, you know. The world's against you even if they're not. So that's what he's got going on in his mind. But thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe and all that bullshit, you know. Patreon, support the channel if you want. Instagram, all that kind of shit. Yeah, leave a comment. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoyed the predictions. Let me know who you guys are picking in the comments. Got more videos coming soon and all that. Let me know what other videos you guys want to see on the channel. And yeah, peace out, everybody. See ya.